Welcome to Working with Joints by PAC Publishing. In this video, we're going to discuss anatomical joints and how you can use them to customize a player character. We will start by examining an existing player character, then we will add a joint to the player's skeletal structure. The new joint will be used to hold game objects. We will work on this in the Unity 5 game engine and playtest our work. Okay, let's launch Unity. Here you can see a third-person controller. This is our character. And in hierarchy view, we can look at the player's skeletal structure. You can see that it's a very detailed list. And what we want to do is we want to focus on this character's right hand. That's the smaller one. And we want to create a joint in his hand that will be essentially the connection point for any weapon or game object that he will hold. So as we look at this hierarchy, right, this is his bone structure, essentially, his anatomy, and we go all the way down to his right hand. Now you can see the only objects in the hierarchy beneath the right hand are his four fingers and his thumb. So we need to create one, and we'll basically create a blank game object. So it's like game object, then create empty. And then we can drag that in the scene view so that it's close to his hand. Can do is over in the inspector view, in the transform section, we can say reset, so everything's empty. And then over in the hierarchy view, we're going to take this game object and we're going to drag it to its right hand. And we'll reset the transform again and put it closer to the hand. We'll rename this to hold point. And we'll finesse where it is. It may help to zoom in a bit. And once we have something in his hand, we can further finesse this. Okay, so now you can see in the hierarchy view that we have a hold point that is part of his right hand. Next thing we want to do is add an object so we can test this. So in project view, I'm going to take one of these weapons. This is from my free weapons pack that I downloaded from the Unity Asset Store. So we'll just take a random weapon. I'm going to go back into hierarchy view. And that weapon, we want to change the position of it so that it's orientated correctly. So I'll make those changes. And now with it positioned appropriately, we can drag that to his hand. Perhaps the easiest way is in hierarchy view. We're going to take that weapon, drag it to the hold point, and then in inspector view, we'll reset the transforms. So there you can see how he's holding it. And it doesn't look perfect. And let's play test that in the game, see how that works. See, as he jumps, it's with him. As he walks, he has it as well. Okay, so what we can do now that we know the orientation is we will, with the weapon selected, we'll change the rotation of it a bit. And when we reset it, it puts it right back to where it was. Not what we want to do. So make these modifications to it. This makes it look a lot more realistic. Angle it up a bit. Then we can modify this camera so it gives us a better view. Okay, we'll play test this one last time. And you can see that it's not placed quite well. It's always important to play test. You can see as I zoom in, it's not even holding it. So we'll just keep making these modifications until you get exactly how you want it. And that's much closer. So the point here was to examine this player's skeletal structure, find where we want to add a new joint. We call that joint a hold point. We created it by creating an empty game object. We renamed it and then we positioned it in the hierarchy of the skeletal structure, and then we attached weapons to it. And in the game, you can programmatically display or attach various different weapons. So once you have them all there, or the one that you want at the time, and disable the ones you do not want. Next up, colliders.